So Kubernetes, also known as CEH, is an open source, portable, extensible orchestration platform developed by Google for managing containerized applications and microservices. Kubernetes provides a resilient framework for managing distributed containers, generating deployment patterns, and performing failover and redundancy for the applications. Kubernetes features service discovery, load balancing, storage orchestration, automated rollouts and rollbacks, automatic bin packing, self-healing, secret and configuration management. Um, it also has self-healing. Okay. Secret and configuration management. Kubernetes allows user to store and manage sensitive information such as credentials, secure shell keys, and OAuth tokens. Application configuration and sensitive information can be deployed and updated without the need to rebuild the container images. Kubernetes cluster architecture. When Kubernetes is deployed, clusters are generated. A cluster is a group of computers known as nodes which execute the applications inside the containers managed by the Kubernetes. A cluster comprises a minimum of one master node and one worker node. So the worker nodes contain pods and the master node manages them. The below figure shows various components of Kubernetes cluster architecture. So the Kubernetes master components, the components of the master node provide a cluster control panel and perform various activities such as scheduling, detecting, and handling cluster events. This master component can be executed by any computer in the cluster. Kube API server. The API server is an integral part of Kubernetes control panel that responds to all API requests. It serves as a front-end utility for the control panel, and it is the only component that interacts with the etcd cluster and ensures data storage. Etcd cluster, it is a distributed and consistent key value storage where Kubernetes cluster data, service discovery details, API objects, etc. are stored. Cube scheduler. Cube scheduler is a master component that scans newly generated pods and allocates a node for them. It assigns the nodes based on factors such as the overall resource requirement, data locality, software hardware policy restrictions, and internal workload interventions. Controller manager. Cube controller manager is a master component that runs controllers. Controllers are generally individual processes but are combined into a single binary and run together in a single process to reduce complexity. Cloud Controller Manager. This is the master component used to run controllers that communicate with cloud providers. Cloud Controller Manager enables the Kubernetes code and cloud provider code to evolve separately. Node components. Node are worker components run on each node in the cluster, managing work pods and supplying the Kubernetes runtime services. Kubelet is an important service agent that runs on each node and ensures containers running in a pod. It also ensures pods and containers are healthy and running as expected. Kubelet does not handle containers that are not generated by Kubernetes. Kube proxy. It is a network proxy service that also runs on every worker node. This service maintains the network rules that enable network connection to pods. Container runtime. Container runtime is a software designed to run the containers. Kubernetes supports various container runtimes such as Docker, RKT, LET, Container, and CREO.